Hello class, this is a video tutorial on calculus with compound functions. Let's now consider how the chain product and the quotient rule are applied to these general functions. So without any actual functions being shown to us, what would these rules look like on these ones here? Well, to understand this, we can apply this and extend it to just general expressions. So I've actually dubbed this no name calculus or no brand calculus because we're not even working with any particular type of function. We're just working with the expressions f and g or whatever it might be. So let's take a look at what the derivatives of these might look like. So for these, first I'm going to define each of them. It's going to be for both. I'm going to define u as f of x. And in this case, u prime, well, that's just going to be f prime of x. Similarly, v I'm going to write as g of x, which means v prime is g prime of x. And so now if we want the derivative of p of x, well, this is a product rule. There's a times in between here. And remember, the product rule is u, v, with bunny ears, and I put a plus in between. So following exactly this rule for these expressions, we get the following. P prime of x is equal to u prime times v. That's going to give us f prime of x, g of x, plus u v prime, u times v prime. That's f g prime of x. G prime of x. And that is our product rule. Going to use the same expressions here for u and v. For the quotient rule as well here. Well, for the quotient rule, very similar. U, v, put bunny ears, but because quotients or division is more related to subtraction, we do a minus v squared. And so doing the exact same thing like we did with this expression, we can do the derivative of q of x, the quotient, following the rule again, u prime v. So that's written as f prime of x, g of x, minus uv prime, it's f of x, g prime of x, all over v squared. In this case, v squared is g of x. I'm going to write that like this. There we have the quotient rule with these generic expressions. Now we can apply the chain rule as well with these generic expressions. So a prime of x. Now remember, for the chain rule, we take the derivative of the outer function. In this case, the outer function is f of x. The derivative of f of x is f prime of x. And remember, with the chain rule, we leave the inside of this unchanged. But we still need to multiply by the derivative of the inside function. Inside function here is g prime of x. So simplified, this becomes g prime of x times f prime of g of x, and that is our chain rule with the expression f of g of x. Same thing can happen if we change the composition. So this is g of f of x. So b prime of x is the derivative of the outside function, g prime of, in this case, f of x remains the same, and we multiply by the derivative of the inside function, f prime of x. So this simplified in expression is as follows. Oops, sorry. G prime of f of x. And there we have these derivatives of these generic expressions. Well, now that we have these, we can actually evaluate these expressions simply by following the exact same principles of functions. So in this case, p prime of 2, I'll do it just for the first two. What p prime of 2 means, we take our derivative here, which I will just copy paste for this one. And wherever x is in this expression, we are replacing it or substituting it with 2. So wherever there's an x, we replace it with a 2. Well, from here, we simply find these expressions and what they're equal to in this given table of values. So f prime of 2, that's equal to -3 times g of 2, so g of 2, that's times 1. Take the plus in the middle. F of 2 is 1 times, and remember there's a times here in between, g prime of 2, which is -3 again. So this will give us -3 plus -3. This is just -6. So p prime of 2 is -6. So that's how we would express it for this. Same deal with the quotient derivative. We take our expression, and wherever x is, we replace it with 3. So I'm going to erase all the x's here and replace them with 3. Now this is just a matter of reading our table of values and taking a look. F prime of 3 is -1 times g of 3, sorry, did I read the right one here? F prime of 3, -1, yep. G of 3 is also -1. So that is going to go minus f of 3 is 0 times, now I'm still going to figure out what this value is. G prime of 3 is also 0, but 0 times anything is going to be 0 anyway. And this one's going to be g of 3 is -1, but we're going to square that one, so -1 squared. Overall, this just becomes 1 minus 0 over 1. Our derivative here is 1. And that's essentially how we operate these compound functions with the derivatives. So from here, let's just quickly go through all of these examples now. P prime of 0, that's our product rule. So P prime of 0, following the rule here, F prime of 0 is 2 times G of 0, 2 times 3, plus F of 0 is 5, G prime of 0 is -2. This will give me 6 take away 10 is -4. Okay, let's keep going with the next. Q prime of 5, the quotient of 5, so we're looking at this column here. F prime of 5 is 2 times G of 5 is 5 minus F of 5 is 3 times G prime of 5 is 3 times 4. That gives me 12. 3 times 4 all over g of 5 is 5 all squared. So 5 squared. I'm going to use a calculator for this one. 10 take away 12 is -2 over 25. I'm just going to leave it like that for the result. Let's keep going. A prime of 2. This one we haven't seen the a prime yet, but it's really just following this expression here. So just copy paste from the previous page here. Let's do it for this one. A prime of 2 just means wherever there's an x, we replace with 2. There's a little bit of an interesting result of procedure with how this works, if we can recall how to operate this. So here we go. G prime of 2. G prime of 2 is -3 times f prime of g of 2 is 1. But look, since g of 2 becomes 1, we actually now have to take a look at f prime of 1. F prime of 1 is 0. So all of this suddenly becomes just 0. And there we have it. Let's keep going. B prime of 4. Well, B prime is this one. And this one we can actually do all in our heads here. B prime of 4. So B prime of 4 is going to be f prime of 4 is 0. So I actually don't even need to check the remainder of this, because this is f prime of 4. F prime of 4 is automatically 0 times everything. This is just immediately 0. Let's keep going here. A prime of 0, sorry. A prime of 0 is going to be g prime of -2. Sorry, g prime of 0 is -2, so let's write that in. Times, remember, it's going to be a prime of 0. So g of 0 is 3. But now, remember, that's going to be 3 on the inside of this bracket. So I'll repeat. G of 0 gives me 3. So this is now going to be read as f prime of 3. F prime of 3 is -1. Gives me a gradient of 2. Last one. B prime of 5. Same deal. B prime of 5. We're following this column. F prime of 5 is 2 times B prime of 5. We go f of 5 becomes 3. So now here that becomes 3. So this is now read as g prime of 3. G prime of 3 is 0. So all of this just becomes a 0. So this is a stationary point. And that's how we operate. Well, that's how we would work with these generic expressions. And yeah, and this is hopefully a good reminder for you with how these compound functions work, or composite functions as well. And I hope to see you in the next video, and best of luck.